Namaste, Jai Bharat. Let's do a comparison between the Bangladesh army and Pakistan army. We should make a comparison now. Look at what had been happening in Bangladesh for some time and look at how the Bangladesh army was behaving. Now, one thing I'll tell you, there is a definite infiltration into the minds of Bangladesh army from the Pakistani army. And how Pakistan army behaves, I need not narrate, which is there available to you. Just look back in time, you find out. There was this deep state phenomenon, and the students were catapulted to action against the Prime Minister, who is still the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. And then the army acted responsibility that, see, the objective of the insurgents in Bangladesh, the troublemakers, were to somehow capture her and publicly execute her. Just get her killed. This news must have gone to the Bangladesh army, and they have very responsibly saw to it that she safely moved out of Bangladesh into Bharat. Whatever communication they make, kind of communication they make, whatever relation they have, is besides the point. But this is how the army acted. Then they get this advisor kind of a person who is acting like acting as an authority to Bangladesh for all things. And what he did, he straight goes under the control of the Jamaat-e-Islami. And the Jamaat-e-Islami is in an excess of thinking and funding from agencies, including possibly Qatar, who somehow takes the reign of radical Islamic affairs all over the world, in spite of their polished discussion, talks, everything. But then practically, you look at the Al Jazeera channel. So with all those things, this the advisor controller, who has opened the jails and let out all the Jamaat-e-Islamis who were imprisoned by the previous democratically elected regime of Bangladesh, and then they started acting of their own. That is what you see, the atrocities done in Bangladesh against Hindus, Hindu temples, Hindu establishments, the Hindu shops, Hindu houses, Hindus and other minorities. Because I speak Hindu, fundamentally I am a Hindu, so that's maybe one reason. Secondly, the minorities. Hindu would include other minorities also, the Buddhists or the Christians, whosoever is there, the non-Muslims, whom they are forcefully and officially considering as kafirs. So attacks on kafirs. Of course, after some time, they themselves will find many kafirs among themselves. That's the story. You will understand it for yourselves. So this thing happened in Bangladesh, and then it had been a long time. Now, at any point in this past time, the army of Bangladesh could have captured power and turned the Bangladeshi regime into military dictatorship. This is nothing new to Bangladesh. They were once under military rule, that Irshad kind of person, army general, was ruling Bangladesh for some time back. This is nothing new to Bangladesh, and this is precisely nothing new to the Islamist countries in many places. So he could have captured power and ruled, and all this Jamaat-e-Islami hodgepodge would have just vanished into thin air. But that did not happen. Something unusual of the normal Islamic nation's army's behavior. Now the general, the chief of army staff is one General Waqar Zaman. Waqar Zaman. Some people pronounce this Waqar as Walker. They may not know. These words are not Indian. They are. This Waqar Zaman had been very observing restraints, and to my mind, he had been acting very responsibility. Somewhere I heard someone saying that Waqarul Zaman is somewhere related to Sheikh Hasina personally. That also could be a reason. Another thing is that Wakharul Zaman is basically trained in Bharat. Is a trainee of Bharatiya Sena, Indian Army. There must have been some kind of morals, responsibilities, or some kind of culture which must have got inducted into him. After all, Bangladeshis are not different from people of Bharat. They only changed religion. Bangladeshis, unlike the Pakistani Punjabis, retain most of their culture as an identity. Bengali culture is rich and strong. So Islam could not wipe out the entire culture of the Bangladeshis. Their distinct art, literature, dances, so many things are with Bangladeshis. This is Bengali culture. And the Bengali culture is still there with the Bangladeshis. So they are not that different, and they are not that close to Punjabi Muslims of Pakistan. This phenomenon is there in front of us. Now, this man had been keeping very restrained, and now, with all these things, he had not made very serious statements at any point in time. He was running the show, he was running along with this advisor Yunus. And now it seems I saw a picture published by the Blitz Pakistan. See, this Muhammad Yunus, the advisor, is sitting in the office of the army chief, Wakharul Zaman. It's Wakharul Zaman's office. He is sitting in his on his official chair. Muhammad Yunus is sitting just opposite to him, with a handbag in his hand. This is unbecoming of an authority person carrying his own bag in hand. Something 2 plus 2 is not 4 here. Something is different. Something is odd. So he is sitting, and the posture, the body language, everything is for you to search and find out this. Whatever inference one can make, whatever in between lines reading one can make. No, I'm not going to that point. It's besides the point. Not really besides the point, but I'm not going into it. There is a kind of submissiveness apparently. But the point is it possible in time, a couple of months, or maybe a little more, 1 or 2 months more, in anyway 3-4 months time, is it possible that the Bangladeshi army, Wakharul Zaman's chief, the Bangladeshi army would ask their prime minister, who still is prime minister, she has not left the post, she has not resigned, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, ma'am, please come back and assume your throne, or assume your seat. If that kind of an invitation goes, the whole thing will again become upside down. Whatever efforts the deep state, the Jamaat-e-Islami and the American agencies were doing, yes, just turns into a big fiasco. He just says, you come back, and then she'll come back and she'll resume. Or, this is unlikely, if she is ordering, she is in exile, if she is ordering that Chief Wakhar, I am coming back, make necessary arrangements. Suppose she does that, it's unlikely, I said. Suppose she does that, he will do it. That's how I understand the situation. He has to do it, given his own personality and behavior of the past. So there is a possibility that Bangladesh can return to normalcy because of the restraint and maturity of the Bangladeshi army. This is a good positive sign for the people of Bangladesh. My personal primary concern is about the people of Bangladesh, who are no matter how misled by the Maulvis, no matter how misled by any kind of religious authorities, whatever, they are still people, normal people, who are like the people of Bharat. They are not different. So many ideas could be put into their head and they could be misled. See, the entire West Bengal was misled by the communists for a long time, thinking that they are something special. This is precisely what Islam also is doing to people, that you are special, you are different. You are entitled to have these things after death. So, West Bengal, when the Communist Party was ruling them for a long time, on a continuous basis, they have destroyed the very structure of the cultural structure of Bengali society, even in West Bengal. So, if it can happen in Hindu Bengal, why can't it happen to Muslim Bengal on a was paradigm? That's what does happen. That's what is happening. So, but then they are not totally lost kind of people, unlike the Muslim Punjabis in Pakistan, who are totally lost people. These people are not totally lost. They still retain much of the Bengali culture, which of course is Bharatiya Sanskriti, not very different from Bharatiya Sanskriti. It's an offshoot of Bharatiya Sanskriti, like some dharmas, many dharmas in Bharat. So there's a possibility that she would come back and again become Prime Minister after all this dark period which happened to the nation. Poor Bengalis, poor Bangladeshis, they were making definite progress, they were making definite stand. I see them, we had been seeing them coming to Bharat so frequently and freely. They are coming to Bharat so frequently and freely for, especially at medical treatment cases, and for students. Students, of course, used to come. Myself, I used to be in the teaching for a long time, and then I've seen them coming to the hospitals for treatment, mostly the cardiac cases. They come with not one patient comes or a couple of bystanders. They mostly come as a family. And in a place like Bangalore, they were facilitated. The apartments were given to them on rent on a very reasonably low rate, which they could afford, with utensils for rent, TVs for rent, everything for rent. But they come and stay here maybe for 1 or 2 months, sometimes even 3 months, because the preparation for surgery and the surgery care and the post-surgery kind of things, and of course the post-surgery visits to the concerned surgeon, physician, and this all it should take a long period. So for the entire period they were comfortably staying here, bringing nothing from home, getting everything on rent from here, and living a normal life. And you see them on the roads, bylanes in Bangalore, that Bomachandra area. They just walk so casually in the evening. We're wearing lungis, and we can make out the Bangladeshis. Of course, from the language which they speak Sirati or Maman saying Thakai Bengali, we can understand that they are Bangladeshis. They were comfortably living, and also they have a way of arrogance, talking to, behaving out in the street. Of course, that's with them, we don't care. So they were free, that's the point. They're very comfortable, they were at home here. In spite of all this, they never felt that they are in a different nation, especially in a Hindu nation. They never felt so. They came, they had their way, they get their treatment, they used to go back. But that's not happening anymore, because Bangladesh is not normal to us. Hopefully things will become normalized in Bangladesh in time, and hopefully the people of Bangladesh who are right now suffering will come limp back to normal existence. I would say limp back, because so much of destruction has been done to the society by the radical Islam and the American deep state kind of caucus. So we shall meet again with some other thought. Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.